Rob wants to shout about some of the greatest Christmas albums that have ever come out. The Beach Boys, the Smithereens, Frank Sinatra, Brenda Lee, Elvis Presley, the Brickweeds, Kelly Clarkson, a guy named Dean, Bing Crosby, Dolly and Kenny, Kenny G, Neil Diamond. I think you'll agree. You better not cry, you better not pout, because it's the Christmas music it's all about.
Hey everybody, happy Sunday. We're getting closer to Christmas. I have another Christmas album that I want to talk about. It's one of my favorites. It's fairly new, and I say fairly new, but it was back in 2007. So it was this century that it came out, and it came out October 9th, 2007. Yes, I have notes here. It was recorded at the House of Vibes, which is a studio owned by the Gripweeds, New Jersey's great 60s band, the Gripweeds. Kurt Ryle is on this album. He helped produce this album. And the album is 37 minutes and 3 seconds. And it is Christmas with the Smithereens. That's right. One of my favorite bands. And I have seen them more than anyone in one form or another, probably over 40 sometimes. Great bunch of guys. So this is their 8th studio album, and it has 9 Christmas themed songs, and we got 3 originals. So let's go down the list of songs. I'll tell you what the originals are. If you haven't heard this album, you got to check it out. We got Waking Up on Christmas Morning. That's an original by Jim Babjack, the guitarist. Santa Bring My Baby Back to Me. Love that song. Merry Christmas Baby. Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. Of course, we know that one. Christmas Time All Over the World. That's an original. It's that's the 5th track. Christmas, Pete Townsend, The Who. I mean, who does Christmas by The Who? Who does that song? So it's The Night Before Christmas. Now, this is one of my favorites on this album because it's the drummer, Dennis Dyken, and he is channeling, I believe, Art Carney from The Honeymooners. And because Art Carney put out in the 50s, he put out 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, and it has a similar style. It's jazzy. So we got 8, Run, Rudolph, Run. 9, Merry Christmas, I Don't Want to Fight Tonight, the Ramones song. And number 10, Christmas I Remember, which is an original, written by Pat DiNizio and Jim Babjack and Dennis Dyken. We have Old Lang Syne, we know that one, and Christmas Time Is Here Again, which is the Beatles' Christmas song. And so a great array of songs, and it's done in their own style. They're not trying to, mimic the Beach Boys or Elvis and, Chuck Berry. It's done in that Smithereens style. If you know the band, the Smithereens, you will not be disappointed in this album. I got the CD when it first came out, and I don't know when it was. It might have been last year, year before. They came out with, and I think you can still get this on their website. Might be a little late to get it by Christmas, but green vinyl, beautiful green vinyl. And So, but inside are these liner notes. Remember liner notes, kids? And this is written by Dennis Dyken. Now what I did, I took an excerpt from the liner notes, and I'm going to read a little bit what Dennis Dyken has to say about Christmas music. Although I swore allegiance to all things non-square, as much as my preschool barometer could detect, I gave special dispensation to Christmas records. While my daily meat was the likes of Return to Sender by Elvis and Wiggle Wobble by Les Cooper and the Soul Rockers, I really got into Perry Como and the Lennon Sisters when Christmas came around. Fact is, I couldn't fully escape the influence of dowdy, grown-up traditions. The Lawrence Welk Show was mandatory family TV viewing. My parents watched the Lawrence Welk Show too. And I accepted the fact that enduring and Nita Bryant, Robert Goulet spot was worth the wait until the Searchers or Soupy Sales made the scene on the Ed Sullivan Show. Yet I would repeatedly spin a Doris Day or Percy Faith Christmas track until I learned all the melodic and rhythmic licks, just as I did with my favorite teen fare. As I reflect on all of this, I come to the realization that I owe a lot to my early interest in Christmas records. And that includes a goodly hunk of my musical grounding and a discovery of a wonderland of culture that I may not have otherwise embraced. Oddly enough, for two people who spawned a vinyl junkie, my mom and dad almost never bought records for themselves. And it was similar to my parents. My father, I never saw him listening to music. My mom had some albums. She liked Elvis, and I've talked about it before, and country albums. So like Dolly Parton, Kenny Rogers. Even during the holidays, it was my hounding that coerced them to pick up on the annual Christmas collections that Goodyear and W.T. Grant's 5 and 10 stores sold. And I have a couple of those. They're compilations of that time period of all the popular singers doing Christmas songs. And I think the ones I have were you can buy at a gas station. I want to say it was Shell gas station or something. And then I have a little bit more. Indeed, I am thankful for what Christmas music has brought to my life. And in another light, the author is well aware of how splendid cuts have worn out their welcome from being grossly overplayed. And that is true. It's awful hard to wince at the 60 billionth play of the Christmas song while standing in a checkout line at Macy's on Christmas Eve. But please don't be a Scrooge when it comes to Yuletide tunage. Nowadays, with the advent of compact disc reissues and compilations, and of course this is 2007, he wrote this in August 2007, and so since then vinyl has, come back. As we see, I have the green vinyl, this one. Not to mention downloading everything committed to wax under the North Pole has become handy for the festive tape player. Try this for starters. Vince Guaraldi's Skating, James Brown's Santa Claus Goes Straight to the Ghetto, Bing Crosby, Mela Kalikimaki, Kalikimaki, yeah. The Beach Boys, The Man with All the Toys, love that song, and the Marquis' Christmas in the Congo. So Christmas time is here again. When I dig out my holiday platters every December, I feel like I'm visiting with some of my oldest and dearest friends, because it is true. Christmas music it's one of those things where there's only a certain period of time you listen to it, and it's great because I have a short-term memory. I remember things I want to remember, but going back, like next year, replaying these songs, like this album, and some of the other albums that I really love listening to. One is Elvis's Christmas album. With that in mind, we humbly present Christmas with the Smithereens. We've taken what we've learned from some of our favorite Christmas records and did our best to make these numbers our own. Plus, we tossed in a few new treats and surprises as well. It is our hope that we'll be seeing you again and again at the end of every year. So that's great liner notes. There's more to it if you get this album. I'm not sure if the CD has the liner notes. But we have Jim Babjack on guitar. Of course, Pat Denizio, the late Pat Denizio, vocals, guitar, harmonica. Dennis Dykin, drums, percussion, lead vocals on Merry Christmas Baby, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, and Christmas I Remember. And we have Severo, the Thriller, Jornican, if I say that right. He's on bass guitar. And so that's one of my favorites for the holiday. I'll be listening to this a couple times. And so that does it. Christmas with the Smithereens. Check it out. You could probably go on Spotify and pick up, even if you don't subscribe, you can probably listen to a couple songs. If you want to order a CD and the album or one or the other, go to, I think it's officialsmithereens.com. I don't know, maybe the website's on here. I don't see the website on here, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So, hope everybody's doing fine. I might do a couple more of these this week. I'll at least do one on Friday. We'll see, because Christmas is coming up, and probably only gonna be available until Friday, maybe Saturday, I don't know, next week. But that's why I hope to do a couple more this week. And hope you have a great rest of Sunday night. Hope you have a great week. And thanks for watching. And ho, 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 Merry Christmas.